सुरेवन्दित पादपद्मम् लोके जरारुकभयमृत्युनाशम् दादारमीशं विविधौषधीनां धन्वन्तरिं रमानाथं सर्वरोगनिवारकम् आयुर्वेदप्रवर्तारम् वन्दे पीयूषदायकम् सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामया ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Okay. So let us start the today's session, Prabodhini, Parva 22, and we have the topic Decoding Suffering, Sankhya Wisdom in Ayurveda, to be presented by Dr. Shantibhushan Handur, Professor and HOD, Department of Samhita Siddhant, Faculty of Ayurveda, Guru Gorakshnath Institute of Medical Sciences, Gorakhpur. But before starting the scientific session, let us just revise the introductory part of our Prabodhini webinar series. I will request my team to please start the presentation. So as we know, Prabodhini webinar series is organized by Shri Babu Singh, PG Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital, Farrukhabad, UP. And we all know that Ayurveda is the blessings of ancient sages, and they all have mentioned so many Samhitas, so many Upanishads, and so many hidden secrets in their written treatise. We all need a guide, we all need a path enlightened to explain all these hidden secrets, to unveil the important things that we need to practice in our practical field. And so it is our effort to bring all the knowledges gems from all over the world who are practicing very nicely, who are very efficient in their practice. And with this effort, we have started this Prabodhini webinar series, and our patrons who supported us in this are Dr. Shailendra Yadav sir, Chairman JS Group, Dr. Sunita Yadav ma'am, Director JS Group, and our principal, Dr. Manjunath NS sir from Shri Babu Singh Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital, Farrukhabad. Along with them, we are the organizers of this Prabodhini webinar series. Dr. Nihar Ranjan Mahanta, Associate Professor from Panchakarma Department, Dr. Preetimai Sahu, Associate Professor from Kaya Chikitsa Department, Shri University, and Dr. Sheenas BS, Assistant Professor from Panchakarma Department, Shri Babu Singh Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital. And today we have the whole team of Samhita and Siddhant department from Shri Babu Singh Ayurvedic Medical College with us, who have organized today's webinar. And we have Dr. Rambabu sir, Dr. Harsh Dubey sir, Dr. Musina ma'am, and Dr. Nisha Upadhyay ma'am with us. As we know, we have started our webinar series from 25th April 2023, and it has been more than 1.5 years that we have started this journey, and so many knowledges people who accompanied us, who shared their knowledge in this field, and who tried to present whatever they knew, who tried to give you all the knowledge they had with them, and they shared with you all. And I hope that all the delegates who have attended this webinar series have almost gained so much from them. And today is 31st January 2025, and we have reached the 22nd Parva of Prabodhini webinar series. On this day, Dr. Shantibhushan Handur sir is with us, and he will be telling you about decoding suffering, Sankhya wisdom of Ayurveda. So before starting the webinar, let us just revise the rules and regulations. So registration is mandatory. Registration is done through filling the Zoom forms provided in the link. After filling the Zoom forms, you have to join the WhatsApp group Prabodhini through the link provided, as all the further proceedings will be intimated in the group. On successful submission of the form, you will get a confirmation mail containing Zoom meeting joining link. Please join the webinar with the link provided. It is individualized. It is separate for all the registered participants. So please join with your link only. Your name and email ID in the Google form should be correct, as it will be used in your e-certificate. So be very careful while filling in the Google forms, and that name and that email ID will be used for your certificates. E-certificates will be provided to all the participants attending the webinar more than 45 minutes. So your attendance is mandatory for getting this certificate. You will get your e-certificates through email registered with us within 7 working days, and there is no need to share your email IDs during the webinar sessions. Please enjoy the webinar. Please try to gain the maximum out of it, and please attentionfully attend the webinar. And with this, I end my presentation. Thank you. And I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Musina ma'am for carrying out the scientific session and introducing our guest lecture of today's webinar, Parva 22. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A warm good evening to one and all present here. I am Dr. Muhsina Muhammad, Assistant Professor, Department of Samhita, Siddhanta and Sanskrit, Shri Babu Singh Ayurveda Medical College, Farokhabad. I am so proud to be here as a moderator to the session 22nd Parva of Prabodhini, and I am here to give you a brief introduction regarding our eminent guest faculty, Dr. Shantibhushan sir. Doctor is an Ayurveda scholar and practitioner, holds BAMS and MD degree from RGUSS Bangalore, currently serving as Professor HOD in the Department of Samhita Siddhanta at Guru Gorakhnath Institute of Medical Sciences, Gorakhpur. He is widely recognized for his contributions to Ayurveda through research articles, publications, and presentations at various forums. He has been honored with numerous prestigious awards, including Rashtriya Vaidya Seva Ratna, Samaja Bhushan, and Guru Tilaga for his outstanding service to the field. His acclaimed works, such as Arogya Shri, Mental Health, and Shodasha Samskara, reflect his dedication to integrating transitional wisdom with modern relevance. Now, his latest book has arrived, Nath Yoga and Ayurveda, Synergy for Seekers. We are proudly welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. I am Om Dhanvantare Namaha, Gurubhyo Namaha. So, I heartily welcome all the great scholars, practitioners, and students for this webinar. I'm thankful to all the organizers for giving me this opportunity. So, shall we start?
Yes, sir. I will present the PPT.
Yes.
Sir, slide is visible, sir?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, it's visible. Thank you. So, before starting, so I would like to say the word what we chosen today is decoding sufferings. So every one of us use the word as a sufferings or a sufferers. So that's why we thought that when we come to know this word, so we dig out where this word has been emerged and how we can give a better solutions for these sufferings today. So when we search it, we can find out through the philosophies and through the Ayurveda. So philosophy and Ayurveda in parallels, if we observe and we extract the knowledge, definitely we can get the better understanding of the sufferings, better understanding of its concept, and also better to know what are the solutions, how we can overcome from the sufferings. So that's why I was chosen there, decoding sufferings for the present modern time also or situation. So how we can interrupt the sufferings and how we can overcome from that sufferings through the vision of Sankhya philosophy and through the Ayurveda. That was the intention for the today's interaction or presentation. So next slide, please. Next, the objectives of today's my presentation. So first one, we just observe core principles of the Sankhya philosophy. Next, the concept of Trivida Dukkha. Next one is cause for sufferings in modern times. And lastly, practical applications of Sankhya wisdom in Ayurveda. So with these four objectives, we begin our journey. So first one is regarding the introduction to the Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy, every one of us knows, it was profounded by the Maharshi Kapila. So it was termed as a Sankhya. Why means Samyak Khyati Samyak
इधर
Samyak
ही
Jnanaha.
अभी रंगोली का भी ऐड करना है उसमें, उसके
This
बाद
is what we can say. So Sankhya word is used here, number. So number refers to here the main principles which were given by the Maharshi Kapila in the form of the Panchamshutika Tattvas, that is called as the 25 Tattvas or elements. So by understanding these Panchamshutika Tattvatmaka Purusha, so we can get it the path towards to the relief from the sufferings. So that's why it has been mentioned that the Sankhya or Sankhya philosophy. So Sankhya, it is a number, but those are the components which will help us to understand better way. So how we can overcome from the sufferings or sorrows. That's why the term is used as a Sankhya there. So next one, we can see the core concepts. So what are the main concepts of the Sankhya philosophy? So first one, as we discussed, I already said, the Panchamishati Tattvas. So Avyakta, Mahanankara. Next, the Trivida Ankaras, Sattvika, Rasika and Tamsika Ankaras. Next, it will be Shodasha Vikaras are formed. Next, we can say it as the Panchatanmatra and Panchamahabhutas were formed there. So totally 25 Tattvas has been explained. So what is the difference here? Avyakta, this component stated by the Sankhya philosophy as two, that is Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti Purusha Sanyoga will lead into the Srishti Utpatti, what the Sankhya says. So by the Prakriti Purusha Sanyoga itself, there is a generation of the Mahat Tattva. Next one is Ahankara, and Ahankara is divided into three, that is Satvika Ahankara, Rasika Ahankara and Tamsika Ahankara. So like this, everything, the Shodasha, Ashtaprakriti and Shodasha Vikaras has been emerged there. So that is mentioned as a Panchoshi Tattvas. So we have to understand these each and every component or element of the Panchoshi Tattvatmaka Purusha, then we can get it free from the sufferings. So let us go through the in detail next slides. So first we'll see the principles. Next one is Trivida Dukkha. So today's point of presentation. So Trivida Dukkhas are Adhyatmika, Adibhautika and Adi Devika. So these are the three types of miseries which were specifically elaborated by the Sankhya or Maharshi Kapila. Saying here, so those sufferings, so it has divided into three so that we can understand better what they are. What is the Adhyatmika, Adi Devika, Adi Bhautika, etc. So then we can give a better solution for that. So that's why Trivida Dukkha has been addressed there. Next one is Pramanas. The previous slides, please. Previous slide. So Pramanas. So Pramanas, already we know that these are the mode of examination methodologies or Pariksha we call it as. So Sankhya philosophy believes the three Pramanas, Pratyaksha, Anumana and Shabda Pramanas. So these are the Pramanas which will helpful for us to know the truth and even the false. Sat and Asat Pariksha. In Ayurveda we says that Dvidam eva kalu sarvam satcha satcha tasya chaturveda pariksha pratyaksha aptopadesha pratyaksha anumana yuktishteti. Like this. So Pramanas were adopted by the philosophies to know the reality or truth of a nature and even the person also. And what are the reality of the sorrows, how they will emerge and what can be given as the best solution. For these all reasons, they utilize the Pramanas there. Next, Trigunas. So please come to the previous slides. Previous slide. Previous slide. Previous slide. Previous slide. Okay, thank you. So next one is Trigunas. So Trigunas, these are the greatest contribution of the Sankhya philosophy, saying that Satvika, Rasika and Tamsika, these are the Trigunas or Mansika Gunas, what is mentioned there. So this only utilized in our Ayurveda in form of the Mansika Gunas like a Sattva, Rajatama and also Mansika Doshas like a Raja and Tamas. So whatever we see, the Mansika Vikaras, all were dependent on the variation of the Mansika Doshas. So either Raja or Tama. So whatever we are seeing as a dukkha or sufferings, so that maximum will be generated because of imbalances in these gunas. Okay, so maximum we can say increase of the raja and tama gunas. So when we have a balance of sattva guna, definitely we can overcome from the miseries. So that we'll see in later the slides. Next one is the vadas, regarding the different vadas also mentioned by the Sankhya philosophy, that is Satkaryavada and Parinamavada. Satkaryavada, we can say that the Sat, from the Sat Karana, Satkarya is emerged there. So every emergence or effect, or can say cause and effect theory, Karyakarana Siddhanta. So always it should be truthful. Okay, so Asat will not be Sat. So that's why they says from Sat to Sat. So whatever it is there, it is comes through the Karyakarana Siddhanta, what they believed. And Parinama is the transformation of the different products, what we believe. And in Ayurveda also, we are adopting that Parinamavada. So these are just glimpses of the principles which were forwarded by the Sankhya philosophy. Next important is the Srishti Krama, which is a highlighted maximum with the help of the 25 tattvas, that is Purusha and Prakriti. So when there is a Purusha and Prakriti Sanyoga will occur, then there is a Utpatti of a Srishti, what they says. So how it is given in a sense, all of us knows. So Pangu Andhanyaya has been propagated as a theory to understand how the Purusha and Prakriti Sanyoga will occur. So how the Andha and Pangu, a blind person and a lame person, how they are interdependent for their journey. So like this, Purusha and Prakriti are like that. And Purusha Prakriti, when Sanyoga will occur, then only there is a generation of Srishti Utpatti will occur. Next, the Tattva will be Mahat or Buddhi Tattva will be occurring out. Next, from the Mahat, then is Ahankara. Ahankara means I or myself, what will be there. So this Ahankara, again divided by the Sankhya in three forms: Satvika Ahankara, Rasika Ahankara, and Tamsika Ahankara. So Satvika Ahankara and Rajasa Ahankara together will helpful for to form the Ekadash Indriyas, whereas Rasika Ahankara and Tamsika Ahankara will come together to form the Pancha Tanmatras and Pancha Mahabhuta. So this is the sequence how the Srishti Utpatti has been occurred there. So when we understand each and every element, then we can remove our Viveka Jnana, or we can say false knowledge, then we can overcome from that and we can get the path towards to the liberation, what the Sankhya says there. I will not go in detail with this concept, so I will go with only highlighting with the Trivida Dukkhas. So what Sankhya says. Next comes, next slide please. So understanding dukkha. So what is sufferings? So suffering here says dukkha traya abhigata jidnyasa tada apagata ke heto druste sa apartaha cha ekanta attanto abhavat. So dukkha never be made it as person never get rid of the dukkha, it will be continuously. So attanta abhava, when it will occur, when we really understand what is the dukkha, what is the cause for that, and how we can overcome from that. Then if we overcome, then definitely there will be attanta abhava, what you can see. So here he highlights, Sankhya highlights that avidya is the main reason. Avidya means ignorance. We are not understanding the principles of the nature. We are not understanding the evolution theory, and we are not understanding what is our the purusharthas properly. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha, what Ayurveda also says. So we are not understanding that properly, then it will lead into dukkha there. Another term he used, the raga dvesha, it is also another contribution for the dukkha there. So raga dvesha, so every one of us knows a person will have the desire. So this term, we can use it is in the form of a kama, what we use word, but kama is not there. If it is a raga, then it will become as a dukkha karana. So raga and dvesha, so aversion. So these two aspects, when it will come. So when we have attachment towards to the material world. So material world, when we have attachments, definitely there is a desires and aversion will come, and that will lead into these sufferings. So this is the second. Third one says the karma or karmic, the accumulation, what they says. So karma, whatever we do the actions, so that will lead into the consequences or changes, and effect will be observed. So if our karma is in a righteous way, definitely we can get benefited of that. If it is a wrong, definitely we will have to suffer it. So always we should observe our actions and lead our happy life there. So these are the three reasons what he says: avidya, raga, dvesha, karma. So these three accumulated, then person will lead into the dukkha there. Next, if we go through the philosophy, a question will be raised why we are taking the maximum principles from the philosophy. So philosophy always tried to give a solution to the whole world or a whole nature. So they find out the main four pillars of understanding dukkha and to eradicate the dukkha. So those four pillars are, here we can say, one is heya, second one is heya sadhana, third one is hanaha, and fourth one is hanupaya. So heya means what is the cause for the sufferings or a dukkha. So that we have to define first what is the dukkha. So dukkha beautifully defined by the philosophy also and by the Ayurveda also, saying that in one word I will conclude, pratikula vedaniyam dukkham. So pratikula, one which is not adjustable, adaptable by both body and mind, that all will say it as a dukkha. So, okay, this is what we can say it as a heya. What is dukkha? We can see it. Next, this is in term the heya or hetu. We can say it as a dukkha. So this is same what we are using in our Ayurveda in the form of the vyadhi or a roga. So what is vyadhi? Vyadhi means vividam dukkham adaditi vyadhi. So there also Ayurveda addressed the word dukkha. So vividam means multiple sufferings, what the person will have when he suffer with the diseases. So that is called as a vyadihi. Roga again word is used. If we say roga definition, rujantiti rogaha. Ruja means pain. So painful condition, when it will come, when person is suffering, then only pain will come. So that's why painful condition all will be termed as a rogaha. So like this, whatever we see through the philosophy also, that can be applicable in our Ayurveda. So we are utilizing it in a parallel way. So next one is now coming to the dukkha, what we defined. Next step was heya sadhana or hetu karana, what we can find out. So hetu karana, we can say that aviveka, according to the Sankhya philosophy, he says avidya or aviveka, raga, dvesha, karma, what we observed in previous slides. So this is the reason behind the dukkha there. So we should have vidya, definitely we can overcome from that. So that's why aviveka. When you go to the Ayurveda, they says the three vida hetus. So why the person is suffering with a disease? Means they says asatmendriyata sanyuga prajnaparada parinamascheti. So this view is different, application little bit different, but ultimate aim of Ayurveda and philosophy is to get rid of the dukkha and to understand better the dukkha. Next third pillar was the hanaha. So next, what will be the solution? So what is the solution in a sense? Atyanta dukkha nivrutti. So even Charaka also says in Katita Purushadhyaya regarding that, Atyanta dukkha nivrutti moksha. So karma atyanta samskshayat moksha. So if there is total abstinence of from the any kind of actions and there is any kind of attachments, we would totally abstinence ourselves, then that itself is called as a dukkha nivrutti. So here Sankhya says that when we understand what is the reality of the Prakriti and Purusha in better way, and what is our the bonded duties like a Purusharthas, when we follow, definitely we never be attached with the dukkha, what this is. Next, last one pillar was says that now what is the dukkha nivrutti is the intention. So how it can be achieved? That is called as a hanopaya. So hanopaya means again here by getting the adequate knowledge regarding the dukkha, how it can overcome. Next, with the vidya, we can get it knowledge, and also by showing the path, different paths by the different philosophies. Sankhya also says that you can go through the proper knowledge of the Panchavashita Tattvatmaka Purusha. Along with that, when you follow the along with the yoga, what is mentioned. So Sankhya Yoga are the Dvandva Darshanas. So he also advised regarding the following the yoga, definitely we can overcome from the sorrows. Okay, these are the four pillars. So if you want to know the application in Ayurveda in the sense, again, the Hana is called as a Chikitsa, what you can say. Chikitsa means Chikitsa Ruk Pratikriyaha. What is Ruja is there, that is relieved there. So then Hanopaya means we have a set of the treatment modalities. Like we can say it as a Sattvaja Chikitsa is there, Panchakarma, Shodhan Chikitsa is there, Shamana Chikitsa is there. So variety of treatment modalities depend on the condition has been mentioned there. So my intention to say here, so these four pillars, what observed by the philosophy, same were adopted in our Ayurveda with little bit of variation in approachment. So that is only change we can observe from Ayurveda and Sankhya philosophy. So now coming to the next slide, please. So now coming to the types of sufferings. So types of sufferings here, what Sankhya says, dukkasya trividam vedaha ahuhu adhyatmikam. In Adhyatmika, they say, Shariram Vata Pitta Kapha Manasikam Trivida Yoga Anugrahitam. Adi Bautikam Manushya Pashu Sarpa Rakshamsi Prayuktam. Adi Devikam Deva Agni Yoga Devadatta Grahadosha Janyam Chauradi Sambhutacha. So three classification has been made here by the Sankhya philosophy. First one is called as a Adhyatmika Dukkha. So it is again classified into two. First one is called as a Sharirika Dukkha. Second one is called as a Manasika Dukkha. Second classification, Adi Bhautika Dukkha. So one which will be caused by the external force. We can say it as affected by the Manushya, Pashu, Sarpa, Rakshasa, whatever we say it. So those affection will comes under the Adi Bhautika. Next, Adi Devika means it was influenced by the Deva Adi Shakti, Agni, okay, Devadatta and Graha Dosha, because of Graha Dosha, etc., or Choradi Sambhuta. So says here, it will affected by the external force, so which is not control under us. So those are considered as Adi Devika Dukkha. So next we can observe here, one by one, the particular dukkhas, okay. Next slide, please. So Adhyatmika Dukkha, first one. So Adhyatmika Dukkha, I tried to elicit out what are the modern time problems, what you are observing, whether it will be really, we can observe insight with the Sankhya philosophy. So Adhyatmika Dukkha, which will be considered as a self-induced sufferings. So already we know that it is classified into two, Sharika and Mansika Vikaras. So Sankhya relevance, what you can observe in present situation is, so first we can see the physical health issues. So nowadays, maximum people are suffering with the lifestyle disorders. We speak it, lifestyle disorders. So it is occurring out because we are not following the proper lifestyle. That's why these are the diseases what we are seeing. For example, we can say it as a hypertension, obesity, diabetes. So still many are there diseases which can affect the physical health. So this is one arena what we are observing for the present modern times. Second one is mental health. So mental health problems, these are the maximum burning problems what we are seeing in today's situation. Rather than what I feel, physical health, we are suffering with maximum mental health problems. So like we can say stress, everywhere it is a stress, anxiety, depression, and there is a work pressure. So work pressure also is increasing. So that's why person will lead into problems related with the mental health. Next, unrealistic expectations. So this is also one of the contributing factor, because if we have proper expectations and when we reach, we will be happy, but it is not at all possible if we have that such unrealistic expectations. Definitely will suffer with the stress, and also we suffer with the mental health problems. And lack of emotional regulations. So this is a challengeable for each and every physician, also doctor also, to how we can guide the patients, how they can go for the emotional regulations, because they are not controlling their emotions nowadays. So that's why there is also big problem. So how we can maintain the sanyama, what is used. So balancing their emotions and regulating their emotions always will help for the mental health. So this is how the present modern time we can see still many problems in a mental health arena. Next one is, this is important, unhealthy habits. So unhealthy habits everywhere we are observing in today's situation or modern time, just because of the food what we are exposed. So addiction to the junk food, because fast food, now it is a era of the fast food. So we are more addicted towards the junk foods, alcohol consumption, smoking, and other kind of addictions. Drug addiction may be there. And nowadays, another one addiction has been emerged, that is called as a digital addictions. So these all will lead into the unhealthy habits, and it will impact on the both physical and mental health. So this is how we have to observe these all conditions which can set in Adhyatmika Dukkha. So what are the causes? Next one, fourth, we can see psychosomatic disorders, where there is a physical and mental health, both will be observed there. So common condition called as IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. So you can say it as in our Ayurveda Grahani. Next, migraine and hypertension. These all linked with the psychological stress. Because of that, a person is suffering with both physical and mentally there. Next, last one is, we can say, the lack of spiritual awareness. Nowadays, people are not also, few people are nowadays come to know what is the importance of the spiritual health also. So lack of spiritual awareness is also one of the contributing factor for the Adhyatmika Dukkha, where a person is always involved with the materialistic life, and you want to be in a only materialistic world. So that is also one of the cause for the Adhyatmika Dukkha. So what I want to say. Next one, next slide, please. So coming to the Adi Bhautika Dukkha. So Adi Bhautika Dukkha, there is an external factor or influence. So what we can see, observe there. So either it is affected by the person or animals, etc. What the Sankhya says. So that's all. Try to interrupt with the insights of a Sankhya in modern times. So what will be there? We can see Adi Bhautika Dukkha in present situation. So first one I was highlighted because the social conflicts. This is highlighted because nowadays maximum we are observing this social conflicts. So what will be there? Workplace disputes. So not adjustable, and we are not happy with our working atmosphere or working place, etc. Always we are complaining. So that will lead into the Adi Bhautika Dukkha, because other person or other thing is influencing us to lead into the sufferings. Next, family issues are there. So it obviously every one person is have family, have to live with a family. So many family issues are also will overcome and says that person is suffering with that. And misunderstandings. So maximum misunderstandings in a relations, etc. Okay, so that also will lead into the stress and unhappiness. So this can be taken into the Adibhotika Dukkha there. Next one is second one, violence and crime. So nowadays violence is also increasing, crime rates are increasing, domestic violence we are observing, and another important cyber crime is also in a peak way in today's situation, and harassments. So maybe a sexual harassments or any kind of a harassments. So these all are emerging today as a challenges for us, where the person is encircled with the suffering or a dukkha there. Third one, infectious diseases and poisons, which will be affected by the animals, even for the microorganisms like viruses, bacteria, etc. So that also can be seen there. So these also can be taken here, like what we come across the COVID. So COVID-19. So what we every one of us knows how much we suffered, and we were thought that whether we will survive or not. That the situation was been created there. So these all situations where comes under the Adibhotika Dukkha. So any communicable diseases or any poisonous effects, etc., all will be considered under the Adibhotika Dukkha. Next, another one important, environmental issues. So environmental factors are maximum contributing nowadays for the health issues. So that can also be one of the important cause, what you can see. For example, we can say it as a pollution. So air pollution, water pollution. So variety of pollutions were occurring out today. So that also may lead or contributing for the sufferings. Deforestation, another one challenge. So what we are observing. So because of that, we are seeing a lot of variation in the climate. So one of the challenge is the global warming. So what we are suffering. So global warming, it is occurring out because of such the pollution or deforestation. So that's why these also will become as a suffering for the mass of people. Okay, that's why we call it as COVID as a pandemic. Okay, so that's why. So it will affect not only one person, it will affect the maximum peoples. So that's why we can say it as a one of the important factor. So one which will comes under the Adibhotika Dukkha there. Next one, modern world, what we can say it as, it is a world of a competition. So that's why everywhere we can observe the competition. So maximum what we observe is we are comparing with the others. So that comparison, when it will come, so definitely stress will increase. Definitely there is a jealous nature, and we lose our temperament, and also we never knows our strength and weaknesses. So this also one of the contributing factor for maximum people's are sufferings. So we can observe in education system also, a ranking system has been, I'm not against with the ranking, but saying that a child has to be made in such a way or supported in such a way that, so what that child has previously performances, it should be better than that. So that is what we can say it as. So that's why we say it as the competition should be there for their own itself. Okay, not comparing with the others. So they have to become better every day themselves, not comparing with others. So if that status is maintained, definitely it will never be a we can say it as a cause for the sufferings. So that is next one is social status. So everyone want to maintain their social status, that will lead into stress nowadays. So that is also one of the contributing factor in the form of Adi Bhautika Dukkha, what we can observe there. Next, third one, classification. Next slide, please. So next one is Adi Daivika Dukkha. So it is also try to correlate with today's situations or circumstances, what will occurring out. So this is suffering occurs because of the divine force, we can say, or otherwise natural, we can say, otherwise the nature itself, we can say. So we didn't have control on that. So it will be influencing, but only we can protect some extent, or we can prevent certain extent also by the Adi Devika Dukkhas, but we can observe it. So first one as a natural disasters which were occurring out. So like we can say it as earthquake, floods, okay, and the wildfires which will cause the mass destruction. So these were occurring out because we are destroying the nature. So nature also giving a response to us. So this is how in these situation circumstances we can take a precautions, or else we can we can help the peoples who are suffering because of these natural disasters. So next one is climate change. So already I addressed previously. So saying here global warming is nowadays a challenge. So where the rising sea levels we are observing, and temperature is also going high. So where it will reach into the such a condition in next days, so person cannot tolerate and survive. So we should be aware of that also, global warming, and we have to take proper precautions. Next, extreme weather conditions, like we can say it as a twister. So what will come? So extreme weather conditions also. So where there is a lot of variations, what we are observing in today's weather situations. So where we are expecting the rain in a rainy season, so it will come in the winter season. So like this, we have a lot of variations, weather condition that will impact the human lives. When we not take precaution, definitely will lead into the Adidevika dukkha there. Next, pandemic and epidemics. So there is a pandemic which we come across. Once again, I said regarding the COVID-19. So it is uncontrollable outbreaks. So which we have to take a precautions, or we have to find out solutions which can protect the health of each and every individuals. So this was happened, and we overcome from the COVID-19 now successfully. Like this also will become as one of the cause for the Adidevika dukkha. Next, unforeseen accidents, like a sudden accident will occur. Okay, sudden, like we can say it as a plane crash, road accidents. Okay, or a sudden falling of certain things on the person, or otherwise we can say it as any other kind of accidents which were occurring out. So those all comes under that Adidevika dukkhas. Next, another one is lastly they says fate and karma. So when karma will be full towards the wrong path, definitely he will suffer with the Adidevika dukkha. So he will lose, okay, everything. So he will has to suffer with the dukkha. So that is called as a Adidevika dukkha. So like this, we can observe in modern times. So these three classifications in different way or different aspects. So let us move on to the now we find out what are the Trivida dukkhas. We addressed what is the Trivida dukkhas. So what may be the solution given by the Sankhya philosophy, and what may be the approachment of Ayurveda towards these Trivida dukkhas, we can observe in the further discussion. Next slide, please. Now, Sankhya addressed here the even solution also, because already I said 4 pillars were there. So one is dukkha, dukkha karana, hana, and hanopaya. So now we can say that the treatment aspect also approached there. So we can say what we can do for the three with the dukkhas. So Sankhya says santihi cha upayaha shatashah sharira dukkha pratikara ishatkara bijjam varer upadishtaha manasasyapi santapasya pratikaraya मनोज्ञ श्रीपान भोजन विलेपन वस्त्र अलंकारादि विषय संप्राप्ति रूपाय सुकरः. So here says regarding the adhyatmika dukkhas. Next he says regarding the adibhotika dukkha, what we have to do. So evam adibhotikasyapi dukkasya niti shastrabhyah kushalah niratah adhyanasanadi pratikara hetu rishatkarah तथा आदिदैविकस्यापि हि मणि मंत्र औषधाद्युपयोगः सुकरः प्रतिकारोपायति. So here itself he mentioned, so what we have to do for the Trivida dukkhas. So systematically mentioned. So just we'll go through the interpretations in our Ayurveda. So what Sankhya says and what Ayurveda has given the solutions for it. Okay, so we can start with the Ayurvedic perspective on dukkha there. So he says, so here first one is the Sharira Dukkha Pratikaraha Bishajaha, means we have to take medicines for the Sharira Dukkha or Sharira Vikaras, and says Manasasyapi Santapasya Pratikaraha Manodnyaha Sripana Bhojana Vilepana Vastralankara. One which will be good for the mind, one which will maintain the harmony of the trigunas, that we have to do it. Okay, what he says, Manodnya, one which will be liked. Okay, Sripana Bhojana Vilepana. So whatever he likes, which will be benefit for his mind, and he feel comfort with that. So those all things has to be provided for that person, so that he can get the mental health or a peace. So that what he says. So like this, he also advised the Adibhotika, that is Niti Shastrabhyaha, Kushalaha, Nirataha. So we can go with the understanding. So what is there, the Shastra, what we say. So what are the core concepts of that Shastra we have to understand, and we have to know at what position we are. Then what we can take a precaution based on that. If we take a pratikara, definitely we can overcome from the Adibhotika dukkha also. Maximum we can avoid or prevent it. Okay, so we can say it as that is the solution. Next, tata adi bhautikasyapi mani mantra aushada dupayoga sukara pratikarupayati. So for the adi devika, so they says we have to please the divine forces. Okay, we have to protect ourselves from the bad impact of the things. So by the money, mantra, aushada dharana, etc. So what is mentioned there? Okay, so these are the principles which were coded by the Sankhya philosophy. So same we can observe in our Ayurveda. Next slide, please. So same Ayurveda perspective on dukkha. So what we observe? So first one says here, Acharya Charaka. So what is the main cause for every sufferings? That is called as a upadha or a trishna. So thirst cannot be subsided. Okay, so if it go on increasing, definitely it will lead into the formation of a disease. So upadha or a trishna word is used. So that is the what you can say. But when we go through the deeper concepts of the Ayurveda, so says that there is a three reasons or a three with a hetu for the each and every diseases what is we are seeing. So that three with the hetus are already I said asatmendriyata sanyuga pradnya aparada parinamascheti. So these three with the dukkha karanas or roga karanas can be elaborated in our Ayurveda, seeing there how it will affect each causative factor will affect the person with the diseases, different diseases. Okay, so like this we can take here. So in that also maximum importance is given by our acharyas regarding the pradnyaparada. So pradnyaparada, so why it is given means a person knowingly he is doing. Okay, that is pradnya aparadaha. So knowingly also he is doing that mistake. So then definitely he has to suffer. So this is a maximum cost factor among three with the hetus. So we can say it as what is the pradnya aparada means didriti smriti vibrasta karmaha yat kurute ashubham tridosha prakopanam. So says here the didriti smriti. It is not in control. The person has lost his control over these things. Then he lead into the pradnya aparada and he will suffer. Next says the Indriyartha Sanyoga. So Asatmandriyartha Sanyoga. So there is we can say it as Ati Yoga, Ayoga, and Mithya Yoga of the Indriya with Indriyartha. Then person will lead into the diseases. Next, lastly, says the Parinamaha. So Parinama is not in our hand or a Kala. That's why Kala is compared as Kalo Nama Bhagavan Swayambhuhu. So as I said, so Daivika, what you can say though, Kala is important. So Kala Parinama, so based on that, we have to get the certain disease or disorders. So only we have to protect it. So that is also important factor. Like this, we can say the Rutus. So according to the season, if Ati Yoga, Ayoga, Mithya Yoga will occur of the particular season, definitely person will suffer. So like this, we can say at particular age, particular dominant of the doshas and particular disease has been suffered by that particular person. Okay, so this is how we can say it as the Kala. So what we can say as one of the one among the three with the hetus. So these all will contribute for the production of the dukkha or miseries where the person will suffer there. So this is what the three important causative factors noted in our Ayurveda. Next, next slide please. Coming to the three with the hetus, after that we will go to the how this dukkha has been addressed by the Ayurveda. So Ayurveda addressed three with the dukkhas, stating with the Triskanda Ayurveda. So Hetu Linga Aushada Skanda Traya Matra Nibandhana. So what is the main aim of the Ayurveda is Swastasya Swasya Rakshanam Aturasya Vikara Prashanam. So what is the main aim of the Sankhya philosophies? It is also said the moksha. So what is moksha? Even Ayurveda also accepted the moksha as one among the Purushartha Chatushtayas. And last it was kept as a Purushartha Chatushtaya, one has to be achieved. Even philosophy also says that intention. So we have to go for liberation or totally free from the sufferings or sorrows. That was the intention. But what is difference here? Ayurveda says dharmartha kama mokshanam arogyam moolam uttamam. So when we have a restoration of a health, then only we can achieve the health, or then only we can achieve these purusharthas. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha can be achieved by healthy individuals. Otherwise, if a person is suffering with a disease or disorders, he cannot achieve the purushartha chatushtayas. So that's why it was more stressed on the arogyaha. That is difference between the philosophy and Ayurveda. So Ayurveda says that whatever it may be the dukkha karana, so first we have to find out what is the causative factor for that. Okay, so what is causative factor particularly? That is why we say it as a Nidana. So Nidana in Chikitsa also we can address it as importance. Sankshepata Kriya Yogo Nidana Parivarjanaha. So Sushata says, so first line of a treatment is we are withdrawing from the causative factors for that particular sufferings or a disease. So that is what the intention of Ayurveda saying here. First we should know what are the causative factors or root cause for the that particular suffering. Then only we can able to give a particular solution. Next says second one important pillar, that is the second sutra, that is lingaha. Linga means lakshanaha. So what are the lakshanas we can observe in a person and what kind of a dukkha he is suffering, we have to find out whether it is a adhyatmika, adibhotika, adidevika. So we have to address that particular condition by seeing the signs and symptoms of that person. Ayurveda also given same. So each and every diseases which were manifested in a person will have a different sign and symptoms. Based on that, we are able to diagnose the disease and also we come to know which dosha is involved in that particular disease. Then we can give the last sutra, that is Aushadha effectively. So treatment. So when we come to know what is the causative factor, when you come to know what are the signs and symptoms for that sufferings, then what will be the treatment? Treatment will be easier because we already know what is the exact cause for that, what are the signs and symptoms, then we can give effectively treatment for that. So third pillar was put as a Aushadaha. So where we are approaching with a different set of treatment modalities mentioned in our Ayurveda for overcoming from these three with the dukkhas there. So next we'll go through the individual, what the better solution is given by Ayurveda. So what we can see insights. So Ayurvedic approach for Adhyatmika dukkha. So where we can say it as a Sharirika dukkha and Manasika dukkhas. So for Sharirika dukkhas, Ayurveda addressed the treatment like a Shodhana and Shamana Chikitsas. So where the person is eligible for undergoing the Shodhana Chikitsa or Panchakarma Chikitsa, so that can be given there. So which will help for detoxify the person and remove the Vikrita doshas from the Sharira and he can restore his physical health. So that can be advised based on the condition. So what he is suffering. Next one is Sattva Chikitsa has been mentioned there for the mental health. So person who is suffering with the mental disease or disorders. So those persons can be advised with the Sattva Chikitsa. So in that Sattva Chikitsa, we can say that the person is made to balance his Raja and Tamo gunas and he has to increase the Sattvika gunas, Sattva gunas. So like we can say it as Achara Rasayana, Sadrutta. So these all will come under the Sattva Chikitsa. So where it will help for the person to increase the Sattva. Okay. So that Sattva Chikitsa has been advised for the Adhyatmika dukkha. Next, both if we want to balance the physical and mental health. So for that, our Ayurveda has given the Rasayana Chikitsas. So we can say it as a Medya Rasayana and other form of Rasayanas. So one which will help us to maintain the physical and mental health. So that can be advised whenever a person is suffering with the Adhyatmika dukkha. What same we can observe for the Sankhya philosophy, what he says. So Sankhya philosophy says that Bheshaja is advised for the Sharika Vikaras and Manasika Vikaras, we can go for the Mano Anukula. Means whatever the mind of that person will feel it as a pleasure. So that has to be provided in the form of any kind of a treatment modality or medicines. Or even we can say it as any activities based, means Ahara, Vihara and Achara. So in any form, we can advise that person so that he can overcome from the Adhyatmika dukkha. So this was the solution given for the Adhyatmika dukkha in Ayurveda there. So next one, we can go through the Adibhotika dukkha. Next slide, please. So Adibhotika dukkha. So Adibhotika dukkha, we can advise. So first, we have to increase the Vadikshamatva. So this was important concept which was gained attention during the COVID-19. So the persons who have a good immunity or a disease resistance, those persons were survived. Maximum persons they lost their life where their Vedic Shamatva was not there adequate. So that's why Nacha Sarva Sharirani Samarthani Bhavanti. So what says our Acharyas, saying here, all the person will not have the Vedic Shamatva. So it will differ from the person to person. So that's why we can say, so Vedic Shamatva is important for the person to prevent the maximum diseases which can be observed through in the form of the Adibhotika dukkhas. Next, Rasayana Chikitsa. Rasayana Chikitsa is advised. So we can adopt the varieties of Rasayanas based on the need and necessity of that person. Next, third important point is Sadhrutta. So Sadhrutta, so ethical and social conduct, what is mentioned by our Acharyas, saying that if the person will correct the ahara, vihara, and achara, definitely he will not suffer with any diseases. So in that, the vichara and vihara, so all will, even the ahara also can be included in the sadruta. So what we can follow the righteous way, so that we will not suffer in future with the diseases. So that is mentioned there, or otherwise we can eradicate the adi bhautika dukkha by maintaining ourselves in a healthy manner. So that is mentioned there. So in that we can include even the dinacharya, ritucharya, even following the ahara, even we can advise the person to follow the yoga there, so asana, etc. So those can also be followed through the sadruta. So what Ayurveda, it is given there, sadruta, and list of the maximum, the ethics, what you have to follow there, that is given there, sadruta. Next, in that also sadruta, even see the macro level approachment of the our Ayurvedic acharyas. They given that how we should behave in a workplace also, how we can control the stress, tension, etc. in a workplace also. That is regulated there. How we have to behave, how we have to follow the rules and regulations which were guided by the higher authorities. So we can maintain best way in that environment. That is also mentioned in Sadruta. So by picking those the concepts or principles of practices, when we adopt and advise to the persons, definitely they can overcome from such kind of a sorrows. Next, environmental and preventive measures. So we have a dhupan, etc. Even the we can say it as purifying ourselves. So and also maintaining the environmental factors, like we can say in Janapadam Sade says the four important factors. When we pollute it, definitely it will affect the mass of people with the diseases. Like we can purify our water, what it is used for the drinking purposes. Next, what the soil is there. So we have to, nowadays we know that soil erosion is under challengeable concept for us. So soil erosion is occurring out because of heavy pesticides, etc. So that can be avoided there or prevented, and we can protect the environment. When we protect environment, definitely it will protect us. So that's why we have to give more intention for that also. So that is given there. So we have to protect. It is given in Janapadam Sadhyaya. So we have to protect our surroundings, what it belongs to us. Next one is Dinacharya and Ritucharya. So every one of us knows. So daily routine, what is to be followed. So this is a need nowadays, because if you observe nowadays generation, they are not following the correct routine. So that is rearranged daily routine will impact on the health for longer duration. And nowadays many persons were suffering with the diseases in early stage also, early age also. Okay, so that's why when we follow the dinacharya, what is advised by our acharyas, definitely we can prevent maximum diseases there. Next one is Rutucharya. Rutucharya means seasonal adaptations. It is also required there. So whenever there is a variation, that's why while addressing the Rutucharya, Acharya says that Rutu Sandhi. Rutu Sandhi means Sapta. Sapta, 7 days of the previous Rutu and 7 days of the forthcoming Rutu. So 14 days, this period. So this period is itself called as a Rutu Sandhi. So they says that suddenly withdrawal should not be there. So we should gradually withdraw the previous regime what we are following for that Rutu, and gradually next 7 days we have to adopt the forthcoming Rutu Charya. So this is saying here means we are changing gradually. Suddenly if you change, again it will lead into manifestation of our diseases. So we should not be suddenly changing. We are gradually changing ourselves. So this concept comes under the Patya. So Patya, when it is advised, so withdrawing from the Apatya, so we can say that the Apatya can be prevented. So from the apatya to the patya, so gradually it has to be amshamsha. So gradually it should be left there. Then we can adopt it. So like this, Rutucharya also, whenever there is a variation, so we have to protect ourselves from the particular changes there. So this is regarding Adi Daivika or Adi Bhautika Dukkha. Next one, third one comes to the Adi Daivika Dukkhas. So next slide, please. So Adi Daivika Dukkha, what we can observe here. So mantra, manidharana, etc. has been advised there. So this is comes under even the Daiva Pashya Chikitsa. So Daiva Pashya Chikitsa, mantra, bali, havana, homa, etc. has been mentioned there. Manidharana, mantradharana. So these all were mentioned there. So this is helpful for us to relief from the Adi Daivika Dukkhas, and also we can overcome from whatever we done the karma, which is not good or a bad karma. So that can be relieved through the approachment of Adi Daivika Dukkhas. So in Ayurveda, we can say it as the Achara, same Achara only, we have to follow it, and we have to go for the Daiva Pasha Chikitsa. So definitely it will help for overcoming from the Adi Daivika Dukkhas. So you might have heard and seen also. So we can say that the homa has been conducted, Agnihotra. So Agnihotra, one who is doing, definitely a spirituality will come, definitely a positive vibes will be created surrounding that person so that he cannot suffer with the such the dukkha or sufferings. So this was adopted by many peoples nowadays, practicing every day. So that is Agnihotra. So it is a simple procedure what we are adopting. So if you advise that, definitely they can overcome from such a disease or a sufferings. Okay, so this is what kind of approachment. And even Mrityunjaya Maha Mantra has been chanted there during the COVID-19 also we can observe. And Homa has been carried out. So these all will have one or the other way positive vibes so that the person get rid from the Adidevika Dukkha there. So this is how we can see the three kind of approachments through the Sankhya also. He was advised the same approachment, and even the Ayurveda also advised in the same approachment. So this can be observed there through the insights of the Sankhya in Ayurveda. Next one, next slide, please. So now coming to the ultimate aim. So what we can say it as the even Sankhya also and even Ayurveda. So they said that ultimate the aim of the every science, every philosophy is the moksha. So Ayurveda also says that it is the last purushartha. So dharmartha kama moksha. So moksha means the liberation. So how liberation is advised by the Sankhya philosophy means it is by the jnanaha. So when we get proper knowledge regarding the existence of life or emerging of a life and different components, 25 components given by the Sankhya philosophy, definitely we can lead into the path of a liberation, or we will not suffer with the disease or disorders, or we can overcome from the dukkha. Next, vairagya. This is important. So vairagya means we are not having attachment with the material world. Materials are required, we have to live in a materialistic world, but we should not be over attached with that, what the Sankhya says. So always we should know our limitations. So okay, so when we withdraw, when we feel that we are over attaching, if you withdraw, definitely we lead into the sukha, not the dukkha there. Next, dhyana. So as the Sankhya also will have a similar overlook of the yoga darshan also. He says that the Ashtanga yogas also we have to advise or adopted by the person who want to get the moksha there. Okay. Ashtangika margas, it is stated by the different philosophies. Next, Ashtanga yoga is stated by the yoga, and the Sankhya says that by understanding 25 principles, we can achieve the moksha there. So like this, different approachments has been mentioned there. So what Ayurveda says, Charaka says in Katita Purushadhyaya Shahrasthana, moksha rajastamo abhavat balavat karma samskayat viyogaha sarva sanyogair apunarbhava uchyate. Sanyogair punarbhava uchyate, apunarbhava uchyate. So here, totally free from the raja and tamogunas, and there is a total abstinence from the any kind of actions. Viyogaha sarva sanyogaha. So here we have to take in modern world Viyoga Sarva Sanyoga in the sense a detachment, a kind of a detachment from each and every materials what we have. So if we achieve that, definitely we are in a right path of a moksha there, or in a right path of happiness. So most of the time, what will happen in a modern world? So we never withdraw ourselves or we'll never be detached. Okay, so that is what I can say a toughest task for us. So when we skilled ourselves, so what is the limitations when we have to go for attachment, when we have to go for detachment? So if we have a complete detachment, definitely will lead into the path of a moksha there. So how it can be achieved? So what he says, so ultimate aim is free from the sorrows, and ultimate aim is to achieve the moksha. So how this is achieved? So you can take it as not only this as the last stage when we achieve the salvation or a moksha. So in present life also, when we adopt minimal among these, definitely it will help you for overcome from the any kind of a sorrows. So that is what we can say. So Charaka has been advised these all the points like spiritual discipline and devotion. So we have to grow ourselves towards the spiritual health. Okay, so which is less seen in present generation. So we have to grow through that. That's why spiritual discipline means it will not accomplish the complete health. Even when we speak regarding the WHO definition, so WHO definition also speaks same here: physical, mental, spiritual, and social well-being, not merely absence of a disease. So spiritual health is also needed there. So spiritual health, it is achieved by devotion to the noble persons, observing the vows or mantra or chanting the mantras or following the rules and regulations which were advised by our spiritual gurus. Next, following good conduct and adhering to the scriptural guidance, what is given by the Ayurveda or any philosophies. If we adhere to that, definitely we will be happy there. Second one, he says wisdom and self-reflection. Okay, this is also important there. So ourselves, we should reflect what we are and what we want. Okay, if we reflect properly, definitely we'll always be happy there. Next, third one, he advised detachment and self-control. So detachment word is used repeatedly here to show that because there is attachment, there is a raga, definitely there is a dukkha. So that's why detachment should be there. Then only we can get the moksha. So free from the sorrows. So detachment and self-control should be there. Self-control means practicing our emotional restraint, and whatever we want to get it. So if it is got, then we'll be happy. If you didn't get, just leave the situation and circumstances there itself, go forward. Otherwise, that will lead into attachments. So if we overcome from the attachment circle or viscous circle, definitely will be happy there. Next is liberation or karmic annihilation. So worldly bondages. So that's why if you see the principles, sannyas ashrama has been mentioned at last. Why sannyas ashrama is mentioned at last in the sense? So when they know the whole life, they crossed it. So whole life they crossed, they got into the different samskaras. Then after the vivaha samskara, next one is vanaprastha samskara. After that, sannyas ashrama. So sannyas ashrama means they know that what is the life now, and they understood what is the attachment and what I was suffered. So that person only can lead free from all the actions and worldly bondages. So that's why. So this is required there for the every person to detach from the worldly bondages, and he should enjoy his soul. This is what the intention there. Next one says deep meditation and awareness. So deep meditation is advised to concentrate the mind and understand himself and understand the spirituality in himself. Then only he can be fearless and he knows the reality. Then he never be fearful. So this is what the intention of Charaka, to say that these are the paths we have to follow one or the other way so that we can be live happily there. So next one, next slide, please. So this is what the just interpretations of the Sankhya philosophy and Ayurveda. So how the three Vida dukkhas were interpreted there. Next one, coming to the practical application of Sankhya wisdom in Ayurveda. So we can say that what Sankhya says, understanding the psychosomatic nature of a diseases, so that Sharirika Vikara and Mansika Vikaras, same is we are seeing in our Ayurveda, Sharirika Vikaras and Mansika Vikaras. So that is understood there. Next, different causative factors of the Sharirika and Mansika Vikaras and what treatment is understood there. Second one was addressing root cause by balancing Purusha Prakriti dynamics. This is the Sankhya says. So by addressing the root cause of a disease or imbalance which is occurred in our body and mind, if we know and regulate, definitely a person will be free from the sufferings. What we can take it as a point of consideration. Next one says integrating Sankhya-based principles for holistic healing. So when we take the three vida dukkha, when we see in modern time also, so when we adopt the principles of the Ayurveda along with the Sankhya integrated form, and we advise to the person who is suffering with any three kinds of a dukkha, definitely we can make betterment of that particular person and betterment of the particular person's life. So this is what we can require in today's generation. So we're integrating the philosophy of Sankhya and also Ayurveda. So next, the end curtain of my presentation regarding the conclusions. Next slide, please. So next, I would like to conclude today's presentation with these points. So conclusion, first one is Sankhya provides the philosophical foundation for decoding sufferings. Means Sankhya says Trivida Dukkha, he was addressed in detail regarding the Trivida Dukkhas. So what are the Trivida Dukkhas? Already we know that Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika and Adi Devika Dukkhas. Next he was addressed what are the factors responsible for this Trivida Dukkha. Next, what are the solutions for these Trivida Dukkhas? So that is addressed by the Sankhya. So when we adopt these, definitely we can come to know what is suffering and how we can overcome from the sufferings there. Second conclusion was Ayurveda integrates these insights for practical healing. So Ayurveda even though it is called as a Swatantra Darshana, independent philosophy, what we address it, but it has a lot of influence of the philosophies which Ayurveda has borrowed different principles or core concepts of the philosophy and adopted wherever it is required for the betterment of a health. There it is adopted. So we can have n number of the principles which are borrowed from the all philosophies. So when we take into the Sankhya philosophy, we also borrow the Panchavashi Tatvatmaka Purusha. These tattvas were borrowed by the Ayurveda. Charaka also says that Avyakta Mahanankara. So these all will be accepted by the even Charaka and Shushruta Even Charaka says Avyakto Vyaktata Puna, Vyakto Avyaktata Puna. So one which is emerged, it has to go into the ocean. Next, when it is Vyakta, then it has to go into the Avyakta Vasta. So these all concepts were believed and accepted in our Ayurveda and adopted. Next, Pramanas also borrowed from the philosophies like a Sankhya, Pratyaksha, Anuman and Shabda Pramana has been advised. So here Ayurveda, it was given a term as a Pratyaksha, Anuman and Aptavdesha. So like this, it is adopted for the purpose of diagnosis, purpose of a treatment, purpose of research. So these in three arenas, it is adopted from the Sankhya philosophy. So when we integrate, definitely we can give a better health services to the society or a peoples. Next, both system emphasize liberation through knowledge and balance. So saying here, the ultimate, the aim or achievement is Purushartha Chatushtayas. So last one is called as a Moksha. So when we want to get a liberation, what is the rightest path to get the liberation? That is mentioned there. So Sankhya and Ayurveda, when we adopt both, definitely we can give a better solution for the person who is suffering, and also we can get a better liberation of our soul through the path of a Sankhya and Yoga there, what this is. And lastly, with the final thought, so healing begins with understanding the self. So when we understand ourselves, there itself the healing will begin. So this was a beautiful thought there generated through the Sankhya, saying that when we understand ourselves, definitely we can overcome from any kind of a sorrows or a sorrowfulness. So with this presentation, I want to conclude that so Ayurveda is enriched with the parallel principles of the philosophy and adopted for the benefit of a humankind. Even Sankhya also addressed for the benefit of a humankind. So with this, I will conclude my presentation. I would like to thank, sir, it is audible? Hello, sir, is it audible?
Sir, audible.
Yes, okay, sir, okay, thank you, sir. So I would like to thank Dr. Shailendra Yadav, sir, so who is the chairman of JS Group. I would like to thank Dr. Sunita Yadav, madam, director JS Group, and also thankful to the Dr. Manjunath NS, sir, principal, who given an opportunity for today's presentation. And I would like to thank Dr. Ram Babu, sir, Dr. Shirin, sir, and all the Savita Siddhanta department colleagues, and even all the delegates and even the practitioners of Ayurveda and the laureates of the Ayurveda for giving me opportunity. Thank you one and all. So over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. If anyone have any queries, you can ask your questions in the chat box. Otherwise, you can raise your hand. Sorry for the inconvenience. Actually, we also, because of some technical issue, we can only allow 100 participants here. So many messages are coming, they can't join. Don't worry, we have to send the video recordings to the group. Okay, if anyone have any queries, you can the questions put in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. Sir, one question is there. Each step of Utpatti can we correlate with different Vyadi groupings and the Chikitsa like Deva, Vashraya, etc. Hello, sir.
Hello, repeat, sir, question.
Sir, actually, that one question. Each step of Utpatti can we correlate with different Vyadi groupings and the Chikitsa like Deva, Vashraya?
Okay, okay. Each group means in the Sushtutpatti they are asking, na, sir? Hello?
Maybe,
Sir.
sir.
Sushtutpatti they are asking. Okay. So each correlation in the sense. So what they say is here you can know what is the Purusha, what is Prakriti, what is Mahat, what is Ahankara. And I think in chat box also I have seen another question. So whether the Sushtutpatti Krama, understanding that whether it is helpful in a Chikitsa. Saying here, so Purusha Prakriti Utpatti, Mahat is Tattva is called as a Buddhi. So Buddhi, when it is initiates or give rise to the Ahankara, Ahankara, Aham, I will come or myself will come. So this Ahankara will helpful for the further continuation in the form of Satvika Ahankara, Rasika and Tamsika Ahankara. So when we understand each component, then we come to know how it is adopted in Chikitsa. For example, you can say Ahankara, Aham, when will it will come? So Satvika Ahankara, Rasika Ahankara and Tamsika Ahankara can be related with the pattern of the person presentation with the futures, different futures like a Satvika Ahankara. When we say if a Satvika Ahankara person always will follow the uh, good things or follow the righteous nature, he will not be much drained towards the we can say it as a Rasika activities or Tamsika activities. So he will be considered Satvika, and Rasika Ahankara we can say that always he will having the Chanchalata. Okay, so he will have disturbed activities and he will have a dominant of Rajaguna. Then he will suffer with the diseases, Manasika Vikaras. Like this, Tamas also. Tamas means Guru Avarnakameva Tamaha. So if a person will get the Tamas, means he will be like lazy, drowsy, etc. Features will be observed. So then we can give based on that particular the predominant of the Guna. So Tamas Gunas. So then we can give. Next one is regarding the Manas and Ekadash Indriyas. This is also adopted in our Chikitsa. Means we know that. So Indriyas, it will comes under the Asatmandriyartha Samyoga, what I addressed. So here we should understand which Indriyartha will have the Ayoga, Atiyoga and Mithya Yoga. Based on that, we have to give the treatment. Okay, so nowadays we have a vision problem, refractive errors will be generating. So eye diseases because of seeing the mobile for continuous or seeing the gadgets. So here Ati Yoga. So based on that, we can get which Indriya Ati Yoga has been occurred, and based on that, we have to give that particular treatment. So for these reasons, we have to understand the Jnanendriyas, we have to understand Karmendriyas, and we have to understand the Ubhayendriya, that is called as a Manas. So Manasika Vikaras has been separately mentioned there. Even Manasika Chikitsa also has been mentioned separately. So we can say that the Sattvaja Chikitsa already addressed. So Sattvaja Chikitsa can be adopted based on better understanding of this Manas. Next one is regarding the Panchamahabhutas. From the Panchatanmatras, Panchamahabhuta formed. So Panchamahabhuta, this concept widely accepted as in our Ayurveda, Sarvadravyam Panchabhotikam Asminarte. So each and every element in this universe and even our body is made up of Panchamahabhuta. So this is a concept where we can adopt for treatment also, which Mahabhuta is increase or decrease. Based on that, we are giving the Chikitsa, that is Panchabhotika Chikitsa has been adopted. So based on the Panchamahabhuta only, we are seeing the relations of the Trigunas, we are seeing the relations of the doshas, and each and every concept what we are observing through the Panchamahabhuta itself. So for that reasons, even the Dravya also, when we are giving, we are seeing the Panchamahabhuta predominance. So this is the area where we are understanding through the Sankhya philosophy and we are adopting for the treatment purposes. So we have to remember that whatever principles which were adopted or borrowed from the philosophy, all were utilized for the purpose of giving the health and also treating the diseases, what in our Ayurveda. Okay. So I think you come to know this point. Sir, over to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, another question is there. How does the patients in OPD basis for Manasika Bhavas and Prakriti or Vikriti, as there is very limited time of interaction with the patient?
That is problem, sir. So that's why we say that counseling is required there. So we have to understand in the Anumana Pramana, it is mentioned that how we can see the Krodha, Irsha, etc. So there is a counseling. So we have to put a questionnaires. Based on that, we have to make it concise form of a questionnaires. We should not ask too much questions because the patient may also get irritated there. So we have to conduct the counseling and we have to pick the important points which can help us to elicit out or know. So what is the changes which were occurred in a person's mind there? So we can observe it. So we can say it as like a krodha, anger. So oftenly when you get anger, etc., we should ask the question and counsel. Then we can come to know. So as a OPD basis, we cannot give much time. But if you want to treat effectively, we required each and every patient a minimum 15 to 20 minutes counseling, proper counseling, then only we can come to know. Otherwise, we cannot help out the patient proper to get rid of that soreness.
Okay, thank you, sir. So I think no more questions are there. So we can go to the end of the session, sir. For this purpose, I will like to invite our Vice Principal of our Sri Babu Singh Ayurveda College and the Professor and HOD of Samhita Department, Dr. Ram Babu, sir. I will hand over mic to sir.
Hello. Good evening, all. Namaste, sir. Respected
Namaste, sir.
Shantibhushan, sir. Nice
Namaste,
to
sir.
see you,
Namaste.
sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
A very good evening to all the participants across India, and my dear students and my dear colleagues. Now, I think we enjoyed your session, sir. Sankhya philosophy, we learned in different perspective, and today we have seen many points in another perspective. For that purpose, on behalf of all the participants and from our institute, we are very thankful to you. And definitely this session enlightened us, and especially our students. Recently, why? Because recently they came to this profession. Actually, this darshana topic only happening to them, and they may got good inputs from you. And before giving vote of thanks, I would like to thank our management, our chairman sir, Dr. Shailendra sir, and our chairperson madam, Dr. Sunita Yadav ma'am, and our respected principal sir, Dr. Manjunath NS sir. Because of him only, we invited you, and you are with us, and we already, I know personally you, but he
Yes,
only
sir.
forced us to invite you, and we are very happy for that. For that purpose, we are very much thankful to our respected dynamic Manjunath sir. And one more thing, this Prabodhini series is continuously happening with our dedicated team, Dr. Nihar Ranjan sir and Dr. Sinas, and our Dr. Preetimayi Sahu. She is not right now with us, but all over from Cuttack, she is helping in this series continuously. Thank you so much, Dr. Preetimayi. Wherever you are helping us. You please
Thank you so
continue
much,
your
sir.
support.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, all the participants. I think we are seeing so many HODs and so many professors and lecturers and associate professors joined over all the parts from the India. And thank you so much, our students also, for patiently listening to sir. And our all faculty members here also joined different departments. Thank you all, one and all. And finally, very our department people helped, like our moderator, Dr. Musina, assistant professor, our reader, Dr. Harsha Dubey, and our Sanskrit lecturer, Dr. Nisha Dikshit, and all other technical staff who helped this successful session. And finally, I'm thankful to our students, enthusiastic students, being in philosophical topic. They attended and they learned many topics, and we are very sorry for what already our Dr. Sinas told that so many requests came because of some technical issue. We may not allowed more than 100 participants. This is what the more. Otherwise, we are getting many requests to join, sir. This is what happening. Otherwise, sir, we didn't expect this technical error. Suddenly, it's happened with us. And anyhow, we will give certificates to all the participants who registered earlier. No need to be worried for that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Now
you,
I
sir.
am handing over to the team.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to call Dr. Preeti ma'am for concluding the session.
Thank you so much, everyone, for such a lovely session, and thank you so much to our guest speaker also. He explained so nicely, and a different perspective we came to know today about this Sankhya Darshan and its practical application in Ayurveda. So with this, we will end our scientific